Today, I want to give you a very brief discussion on two types of visas which confuse a lot of people, especially on their processes, especially on the interview, the nature of the questions, and the reasons for rejections. And these are what we call non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas. What are these two types of visas in American immigration legal system? I can simply say that way. In a very layman language, non-immigrant visa is a visa you apply at the US Embassy to come to the United States of America with no intention of being immigrant. That's why it's called non-immigrant, not immigrant. The intention is not to become immigrant in the United States of America. And who is immigrant then? It makes to the other types of visa, which is immigrant visa. So when I go back to still to the non-immigrant visa, because the visa itself, you are given the visa with no intention of staying in the United States, with no intention of being an immigrant. The intention is to come to the United States, to stay here for the specified period which you requested and which is indicated in the visa. After that, you have to go back to your home country. For that particular reason, when you go to the consular officer, you have to go with the evidences, documents, anything to prove that you will go back to your home country. The types of visas under that category are visas like visiting visa. You hear B1, B2 visa. You hear the visa like J1 visa, like exchange visitor visa. You hear about international student visa, like F1, M1 visa. You hear the visa like professional work visa, H visa. So there are so many types of visas which you come here, you are not expected to become a permanent resident. You are not expected to become an immigrant of the United States. On the other hand, immigrant visa is the visa from day one you are given for the intention of being in the United States on the permanent basis as an immigrant or rather permanent resident. So in this context, immigrant equals to permanent resident. I know there are so many people, they have been here, maybe they are doing PhD. Oh, I'm immigrant because I've been in the US for 3-4 years. No, my friend, according to the immigration law, you are not immigrant. You are non-immigrant. You are expected, even if you stay 5 years, as long as you are on a certain type of visa, which requires you to go back to your home country, you are not immigrant. Immigrant is the person with immigrant visa. For instance, if you win the diversity visa, you are given immigrant visa, meaning from day one, you are arriving in the United States, you are working as everything as a permanent resident, you are given the card. You come here and maybe your parent is sponsoring you, or a child is sponsoring the parent, or the person married to a foreigner, someone from another country. The person comes here from day one with what is called immigrant visa. And then you are given the green card. If what you call the fiancé visa, K visa, you are given the visa, but you come here, you must get married within 90 days, and you are becoming permanent resident. So those are some of the visas which you call what we call immigrant visa. So the questions on the immigrant visas are 100% different from non-immigrant visas. They're not going to ask you, will you go back to your home country? Do you love your country, Nigeria? Do you love your country, Ghana? Prove to me that you'll come back. And if you purchase a ticket, you can go with one-way ticket. You don't need to have 2 ways going to return. You don't need that. What you need to prove, depending on the visa type, like if you are asking immigrant based on the diversity, you have to prove that you are the winner and you meet the requirements which are required. If you are going there as you are married to an American citizen, you have to prove the marriage is really a bona fide marriage and the documents you have to prove. If you're going as a parent, whatever, if it's a job, there are certain documentation which are needed. And the questions will not be, show me the assets that will go back to your home village of Accra, Ghana. No, they are not going to ask you those kind of questions. They're not going to ask you, will you go back to your hometown of Meru in Kenya? No, they're not going to tell you all those questions. The documents required will be based on the type of the sponsorship or winning the lottery. Versus an immigrant, you have to prove you'll be coming back to your home country. And that's where we have so many questions. And that's where many people are denied the visa because of that. So now you know the differences of these two types of visas. So don't take the experience you had on the non-immigrant visa. You applied for visiting visa, you think they will be asking the same questions if you were the winner of the diversity visa lottery or if you are married to a US citizen. Questions are different. Now you understand that, share with someone else, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel.